I think maybe the most challenging situation I faced as a scholar is that my career is sort of, I wouldn't say it's gotten sidetracked, but it's sort of bifurcated in a way, in that I've begun to work on Chinese music. I haven't given up on performance practice of Renaissance and Baroque music, but on two occasions in the first decade of the 21st century, my wife and I were invited to be guest professors at National Sun Yat-sen University in Kaohsiung in Taiwan. And it was a lot of fun working with students there on Western classical music. But on both occasions that I was there, I attended rehearsals of what was called the Kaohsiung Traditional Chinese Orchestra. And I became fascinated by this ensemble because they used a lot of traditional Chinese instruments, but they also used Western-style cellos and basses and harps. They had a conductor who was standing up in front of the orchestra just like a Western conductor, not traditional, not the way the Chinese did it traditionally at all. The orchestra was arranged in semicircles around the conductor, facing the conductor, just like a Western orchestra. And so I sort of became fascinated by this, and I wanted to look into it more, but I wasn't quite sure how to do it. In 2009, a very talented pianist from mainland China showed up at Wake Forest and began studying music there. In 2011, I asked him if he would like to travel with me and go to mainland China, his home, and study instruments of the traditional Chinese orchestra, visit instrument makers, talk to orchestra conductors, talk to performers, talk to some people who had been in the field for a long time, because the traditional Chinese orchestra only goes back to the beginning of the People's Republic of China. So we both got little grants from the university, and we went in the summer of 2011, and it was a wonderful experience. I had already started studying Chinese, but at that point there was no way I could have conducted this research without Chung Leo. Nick was his American name, with me, because he had contacts, plus he spoke the language. And we went back in 2013. I've continued to study Chinese, I've continued to work on Chinese music, and also the reception of Chinese music in Europe, which has been a very fascinating subject for me.